Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Al-Rakah Kadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, New Ruvel, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is news and prophecy and news, dealing with this Brexit that's presently taking place in the UK. Brexit basically is a compounding of two words being Britain and exit, right? And it's really alluding to Britain's exit from the EU, which ultimately is part of one of the key things in the scriptures being prophecy. All right, this what is known as Brexit is a big part of biblical prophecy that's spoke of in the book of Daniel, the second chapter. All right, so let's read through this article. It's from the Evening Standard. All right, and it reads, Alan Sugar calls Boris Johnson a criminal and says Brexit has made the world laugh at the UK. All right. So the business mogul was speaking at the launch of the latest series of The Apprentice. Now, for the brothers across on the other side of the pond, I believe that I'm not too sure of it, but I know that I believe Donald Trump basically done a show called The Apprentice or something to that effect. You got the American version, so-called American version, and this is the UK version. So this entrepreneur known as Lord Alan Sugar, which I believe a lot of brothers believe he's a Jake. I believe he's a Jake, but he's actually a so-called he's so-called Jew as well, funny enough. But he came up from the East End, which is known, the East End of London, which is known historically for being the poorest part of London, where you get the Cockneys. And this man himself is actually also a Cockney, So reading into it says Lord Alan Sugar has said Brexit has made the UK a laughingstock to the rest of the world, adding he is sick and tired of it. And it is true, man. In Britain, the UK looks like a laughingstock. A ruler as stupid as David Cameron allowed the people the opportunity to vote whether they want to be in the EU or not. Going forth with this democracy, all right? They don't why would you let the people vote on something that the implications are so great and unforeseen? They would even allow that to happen, all right? As a leader, you should be able to, determine that this would be erroneous if we even let it go. But, lo and behold, it shows you when a fool is in rulership, what happens, man. Let me quickly get a precept to back that up as well, all right? So this is Proverbs 29:2. All right, it says, when the righteous are in authority, all right, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Now, this is a rich man, and yet he's mourning at the idea of a Brexit, all right? And that shows you something, because, he really has most of the ability, but he's not feeling it. He's saying, look, we look like dummies out here, all right? The Entrepreneur 72 was speaking at press screening of the newest series of The Apprentice when he made the comments. It came after the Supreme Court ruled Prime Minister Boris Johnson had acted unlawfully by proroguing Parliament for 5 weeks on September the 9th. Now, Boris Johnson is, if there was ever a counterpart for Donald Trump, Boris Johnson would be one, all right, in an alternate universe known as Britain, all right? He is the Donald Trump of the UK. This guy just gangstered the closing of the Parliament. And funny enough, to show the ignorance of the Queen, she gave him the go-ahead. All right? She actually said it's cool for him to do that. All right? So reading on, it says, it came after the Supreme Court ruled Prime Minister Boris Johnson had acted unlawfully by proroguing Parliament for 5 weeks on September 9th. Lord Sugar found out the news during the press conference When asked his opinion on the ruling and how he believes it will impact businesses, he said, I couldn't care less, frankly. I know I should, but I have to say, at 72 years of age, I am sick and tired of this whole Brexit. Trying to figure out. I'm not too sure what that is. Oh, bollocks. Nonsense. All right. I'm sick. Or not that's not bollocks. I'm not too sure what that is. All right. I'm sick and tired of the manner in which the whole thing has been conducted. He added, we are a farce, a laughing stock to the rest of the world. At 72 years old, I don't care. Something has got to sort itself out. All right. Now, going back to the time of colonialism, when you had the imperial empire known as the UK, it was said, one of the quotes was, the United Kingdom. One of the quotes was, the sun will never set on the British Empire, man, on Britannia. But the sun is definitely set, and the moon is up, and the stars is out as well, man. Because the UK is being made a laughing stock in front of on the world stage, all right? And this is down to a lack of leadership skills, man, all right? And ultimately, when I say a lack of leadership skills, that's the tangible side of things, but really it's being initiated from the place of the spiritual, which is prophecy, which the word of the Most High spoke of, that would play out in these last days, all right? So he added, we are fast a laughing story to the rest of the world. At 70 years old, I don't care. Something has got to sort itself out, all right? I hope that common sense prevails. In the end, I have no opinion on the ruling, but that's a very interesting thing that it got ruled illegal. So I wonder what will happen now. And it shows you this guy isn't as up in age as he is, as profitable as he's been for himself in terms of wealth. When it comes to dealing with, the rulers of the land, his hands are tied and he has no say so in the matter, all right? And this really alludes to what it really makes me think about is the RFID chip, when it says the both rich and poor, free and bond, because he would be considered one of the rich, all right, the lesser luminaries. He's a lord, is he not? Lord Alan Sugar, all right? He'd be considered one of the rich, one of the elites, a lesser luminaries, but his hands are tied. He's just gonna have to take the RFID chip and go and deal with the consequences of that. That's really the seat, his lot. Least the Lord says otherwise. That's really his lot as it stands right now. As me speaking of a man, what I perceive. All right. When asked if he would invite Johnson on The Apprentice, he joked, "It depends if he gets out on remand." You know what the BBC are like. They don't like criminals. If anyone doesn't know, remand, bail. They don't like criminals on their programs. Lord Sugar, who has been criticised in the past for his tweets, has regularly complained Brexit on his Twitter account, all right? And he said some racist shit last summer, I believe, going back to the World Cup, all right? I recognise some of these guys from the beach of Marbella, multitasking, resourceful chaps. So he's saying that these football players from Cameroon, look like the people that sell sunglasses out in Spain, right? Because you have a great diaspora of West African people out there selling goods and all over the mainland Europe, all right? Last year, he was forced to apologize and face calls to step down after sharing a photo on Twitter of the Senegal, similar colours, Senegal and Cameroon, football team, likening them to men selling glasses on a beach in Marbella. He later deleted the tweet. Ndongo Idia, an advisor for the country's president, Macky Sall, told the Times, "I think it is very ignorant for someone in his position, of course, And that's the main thing. He is actually a very, well, he said it in his comments about the Brexit, right? And not really more so, just in general. From someone in his position, of course, that must be freedom of speech, but this was wrong and it is hurtful to the players and the people of Senegal. If I was his boss, if I was responsible for him, then I would fire him. Very well thought out statement. Anyway, but when the Standard Online asked if he would ever consider stepping down from the show, he said, "We have got one more series that I am contracted for. For the record, it'll be the 16th series. I might do it for 20. 20 sounds like a round figure. One of the reasons I do this program is to encourage young people. The amount of youngsters I speak to who stop me in the street, who say they love the program and say they're inspired by it, it's quite amazing. All right, but let's harp on the main point. They went into somewhere else. It says Boris Johnson is a criminal. All right, but the main thing I want to harp on is that they're a laughing stock to the world. All right, and if someone looks at you as a laughing stock, all right, what do you think really is gonna happen, man? Someone looks at you as a laughing stock. All right, I got a few scriptures. I'm just going. This is impromptu. I'm just going in the spirit. So I'm gonna first start off with Obadiah 1, and 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. Right, Edom, and the Lashon Kodash is other one, which means red, which is a sort to today. Is because no one is going according to their biblical nationality due to prophecy, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushua stated that Esau would name the land after his own name. Esau being a so-called white man, when he took over the earth, he basically renamed the whole earth, right? Because a lot of people to this day, like Cush, and certain other tribes of people, actually still hold on to their Hebrew names or their original names of their forefathers that begat them, right? But Esau changed everything as to what we have today, all right? Greek and Latin, Roman term names, all right? But that's Edom, the so-called white man. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right? And that's what's happened right now. All right? Which I'm going to come back to this point. All right? But let's read on. Bride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. And that's where, going back in history, or the word, Esau received his inheritance in Mount Seir, which was the original habitation of the Horites, which means cave dwellers. And then really moving forward, what they did was they migrated, as people do, up into the Caucasus Mountains, and that's how they have the name Caucasian this day, because that's their history, all right? That's why these names are placed upon the people. Same way we're called black is due to slavery. Same way they're called Caucasian is paying homage to the Caucasus Mountains, and that's really part of their inheritance, the dwelling in the clefts of the rock. All right, that's their culture. Whose habitation is high, mountainous, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, though thou be set in a nest. Okay, eagles, a symbol that is used greatly among them. The eagle movie shows you that, going back to the Roman Empire. And then also when you go to America, which is the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, they utilize the American bald eagle, all right? Which Trump is the actual incarnation of the eagle. I'm joking. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. All right. So when they set their nest among the stars, being what? Going to the second heaven, not the sky, but going into space, all right, or orbit, should I say, by placing their satellites up there, all right. From when they did that, going back to Apollo 11, All right, in 1969, that's when their kingdom started to go down, basically. All right, so going back to the main point, it says, "Behold, and that's what's been. They've been on a dissension ever since, and that's why it says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly inspired." And to follow that, this is up. This is why this is happening today. All right, this is Joel. Um, all right, this is why this is written. So this is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And this is being done, all right? This is being done through the spirit of prophecy by the word of the Most High Power, okay? By the angels. They've been sent forth to manipulate the minds of the men on this earth for them to do so. And that's why you have an assembly or a unification of nations known as the BRICS, starting with Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which are aligning themselves as a economic power and also a world power in the sense of military might to basically rival NATO and the EU, all right? Because the two main rivals that sit upon the, what do you call this, man? The America, France, UK, Russia, China. Yep, the United Nations Security Council, okay? Being the permanent members, being the five main nations, being China, France, Russia, UK, and United States, and 2/3 of that, sorry, 2/5 of that of the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council is who? China and Russia, which rival the United Kingdom, United States, and France. All right. So these are these nations. They're basically they've set up their proxies to follow through with this war. So this is proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, all right, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let them wake, let the weak say, I am strong. So these nations that were prior weak nations, India, for example, being underneath who? The UK, all right, the Britannia. They're now positioning themselves with military might and great resources in many different things to basically become a big player on the world stage, to allow them to basically fulfill this prophecy, beating their plowshares into swords, all right, having a say so at the table, being a threat. That's how even today you have North Korea posing a threat to America, all right, and they're backed by China, and that's why they have to take them very seriously. The words that are being said, right? Assemble yourselves, and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And that's what's happened. They have been wakened, and they are coming up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. You had China when the thing popped off in Egypt a few years ago with the uprising, the Arab Spring, all right, the uprising of the North African nations or the Arab nations catching on like a wildfire. You had China just sharp down there with their military might in their naval might. They went up there, and what did they do? They collected Chinese citizens, and they got them, and they picked them up and got them out of there and took them home. All right, that's them showing their might, and also that shows you that they gathered where in Jehoshaphat, the Valley of the Decisions, which is the all right, over there in the Middle East. So put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. All right, so there's abundance. It's ready. It's hit the measure. The threshold has been met. Multitudes in a valley decision, for the day of the Lord is near in a valley decision. All right, and it tells you the day of the Lord is a dark day and not light, as it says in Amos. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and see, it says it again. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the sun, moon, and stars really denote wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going to be darkened. So the wisdom, knowledge of what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what? Esau's intelligence. It's going to be darkened, man, because as it says, gross darkness covered the earth. Basically the light. Let me get to the point properly. Salakia. Basically, Esau is going to be, his light is going to be put out, and the light of Yahweh Shai is going to be magnified upon the earth. And those that were under the vibration of the light of Esau are going to be left in dark. All right? So, one more scripture to bring out, which is ultimately, the end of this, what's going to happen. As you know, you can read it yourself, Isaiah 14, and 1, and read on down. Really talking about Esau coming out of power, and that's what's set